It's time for the Mayor's Chair on CFAM Radio 950 and, of course, PembinaValleyOnline.com. It's a very special edition of In the Mayor's Chair for the City of Morden because this will be Mayor Ken Wiebe's final edition of In the Mayor's Chair with me. And, Ken, we wanted to do a little bit of a retrospective. You've been in the Mayor's Chair, if you will, for about 8 years now, and a number of highlights you've seen over the last number of years. And how about we start with, I think, one of the most obvious, and that would be the city status that the community received not so long ago.
Well, you know, actually, when you look back, it's 12 years. It was at the Corn Apple Festival 12 years ago that we announced it, and when we achieved the population that allowed us to apply, we did, and the minister granted it to us, and they asked us what our date would be, and we sat around as council, and we thought, you know, the best time to announce it would probably be when you have a lot of people around, both local citizens and people from outside the community, and what a better time than I think it was a Friday night at the Corn and Apple Festival just prior to the headliner act coming on. So we did that, and that was, you know, that was a real thrill for us as council. I think that we achieved that status. We were then one of 10 instead of one of 130 something. So, you know, it was special, and it just elevated us to another level, and it showed the province that we were a growing community. We embrace change, and we can work with change, and we can make it better as a community. And so, yeah, I think it all worked out really well.
And speaking of change, one area that has really changed on the east side of the city would be the Pembina Connection area. Boy, have we seen some development there over the last 8 years.
Yeah, we have, and you know, when we first came on council, we've still got 6 out of the original 7 that were elected in 2010. You know, there was some skepticism, and I understood that, and there was some hesitancy about building a road. But you look back on that movie about the ballpark with I can't remember the actor, but anyway, you know, you build it and they will come, kind of thing. And that was kind of most of us around the council table. That was our feeling. If you start to develop it, you know, like with infrastructure, like water, street, sewer, and that, then it's a more it's a better option for somebody that's looking for property. So we did that, and it has been nothing but great since then.
Immigration has been a huge positive for the city of Morden over the last number of years, and I would say that you would see it as a positive as well for what it's done for the community. Oh,
it's been absolutely amazing. The people that have come into our community, entrepreneurs, you know, that are looking for opportunity, and the great thing about our program is it's set up to help people succeed. We are fairly strict on who comes and who applies. Well, anybody can apply, but who we select, and it's basically, you know, you have to have a certain amount of financial availability and ability. You have to have a right level of English. You have to have secondary education, and you have to come on a visitation. And some people have asked, you know, why would you put that heavy criteria on? Well, when these folks come here, you know, they spend a lot of money and they have a dream, and we want them to succeed. We want them to stay here, and it has proven to be a very successful program. And our retention rate is now in 90 to 95% of the people that come here under our program that actually stay, not just in Morden, but in Morden, Winkler, Stanley area, and it's just been amazing the success we've had with that, and we will continue with that program, and we're just filling jobs and giving people opportunity to succeed.
Speaking of opportunity, an opportunity to try something new the city of Morden did with the 3-stream waste pickup system, which, Ken, you and I have talked about in the past. It had a couple humps and bumps, but we worked them out, and this is a really good system.
It is an excellent system, and it had some real opposition initially. We had some open houses, and there was some real opposition. And we had some people that had some real concerns, and you know, some of the people that had concerns were legitimate. And they sent us emails, and they had questions, and we worked those things out with them. And they were happy, and I can honestly say that the naysayers have come around. They see the benefits of this program, the advantages of this program, and it is working, and we have a great company that we are working with, MWM. They have been a great company to work with, and the program's working. And we did our research before we started this program, and we had nothing but great dreams for this, and I'm glad to see that it has all worked just as we were advised that it probably would if we followed certain protocols, and we followed those protocols, and it did work.
Well, how about we continue now here with one final highlight, Ken, before we get into the election, which is coming up obviously October 24th, and that's Morden. Again, a new thing, a really new thing for pretty much anywhere in Canada, and Morden really first in line to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we did a lot of research on it, and we looked out there in the world, and as a council, we looked at, you have a home that is, your home is like, my home is wireless. I don't need a wire. I have one little router and the rest is wireless. And and we have communities within Canada that have their downtowns are wireless. So we looked at it and we said, if you can do these kind of things, and multiple businesses have their whole computer program in the business is all wireless. So we looked at it and said, why couldn't our community be wireless? Why not? And our engineering staff and our management staff did a ton of research on this and did a lot of checking around, and they couldn't come up with a good reason. Actually, they came up with some very good reasons why we could. So that's the route we went. It's taken a little while to get it off the road. We had some initial issues with getting permits for towers and that, but I believe that's all done now. And we have several hundred of people on the system now, and they are very happy with what they're getting. And over the next few months, hopefully, we will get the majority of the city on this system, and we'll get it up and running, and just prove to everybody that sometimes you have to be innovative, take a risk, and it works.
How about we wrap up looking ahead to October 24th? It obviously is around town that you are not running again, and that's all well and good, but we can still talk about the election. And I think for you and I, what we wanted to focus on, Ken, was the importance of getting involved in the democratic process and actually coming out on Election Day and exercising your right to vote.
That's right. This is also the 100th year of the end of the First World War, 1918, the armistice, November the 11th. And I reflect on that as a career soldier. I did 30 years in the military, and I think that a lot of people have sacrificed an awful lot for us as a community to have this right to vote, and it just. It kind of really irks me for people that don't exercise that right, because, a lot of people came here from different countries because they wanted that freedom, and they wanted a say in the government. And here we have an opportunity. You actually have a say in the government. And to not take that opportunity, I find that concerning, that people wouldn't care enough about that. And we have rights, and there are a lot of people gave their lives for us to have those rights. And if you don't exercise your right and uphold your rights, you will eventually lose it. And that would be my concern. So I would say, get out and vote. A lot of people have given their lives and given their dreams just so we would have that right. So go exercise that right to vote. If you're a Canadian citizen over 18 years of age, you have that right. Exercise it.
Ken Wiebe, he is the mayor of City of Morden, and this is our final In the Mayor's Chair City of Morden edition with Mayor Ken Wiebe. It's been a pleasure the last number of years, and we'll be crossing paths, I'm sure. I'm sure we will be. Now, of course, you can listen to this conversation anytime on the CFAM blog at PembinaValleyOnline.com.